Good evening. Times have changed in North America. We're back to, I think, normal European time now for everyone, 11:30.
Yes. Yes.
So I hate it. It throws everything out. Everything's messed up. But here we are. We're all synced
We're
up.
back.
Welcome in.
We're back. Yeah.
Yeah, we're back, guys. Another busy one. Another busy one for a lot of different reasons. But before we get into it, like, subscribe, hit all the socials, the social medias, the discords, all that good stuff. Let's get into it. Dave, how you doing tonight?
I'm great, man. I'm great. Had a fun F1 race. I was at an incredible game on Saturday night. Hey, if you didn't see it, go to our YouTube shorts and the second to last shorts. And by the way, it has nearly 1,200 views. So thank you to
Yes,
everybody out there who watched it.
killing it, doing well.
It is incredible. Yeah, dude, fireworks, pyro, two traditional teams. It was 69,000 people in attendance. Dude, it was an incredible game. We lost though. We lost 1-0. That makes me sad. But ironically, we have drawn. Yeah, we have
Strong,
drawn them
yeah.
for the DFB Pokal round in the round of 16. So maybe we can get them back.
Rivalry, awesome. Yeah, no, it looks wild. Looks like a lot of fun.
Oh
So we
yeah, it
got
was. It
that.
was
Check
incredibly loud. It was fun.
check the shorts out. We had a short where we kind of predicted the F1 race today. We'll get into it towards the end because I know primarily we're here to talk about Juve, Udinese, and going forward to Lille. But we will talk Max and Lando again. It was wow.
Oh,
It was
it
so
was
much.
chaos.
The
Chaos.
delays. It was raining. It was chaos. Yeah, it was really fun, really interesting.
Yeah.
Good little mix up, and the French decided to show up today out of nowhere. So, congratulations to the French. and
Yep.
yeah, so
Hey,
let's.
shall I answer this one?
Oh
Because
yes,
us Germans are sensible. Look, some people like it is only the second division that play as the second Bundesliga that plays an 8:30 game on Saturday night. Number one, people have plans on Saturday nights. It has most of it has to do with drinking. And so, hey, you want to have fun, man. Even our Friday night games and at the first Bundesliga starts at 7:30, I believe, or is it in straight 8 p.m. kickoff? Like we are very sensible in that, and we tried the Monday games like a couple of seasons ago, and the fans protested against it because, dude, who wants to go to a match on 8:30 on Monday night and go to work on Tuesday morning? And yeah, the fans protested against that, and now we're just Friday, Saturday, Sunday. And honestly, perfect schedule.
see, that's where Germany's different from the rest of, at
And
least like
also,
Western and Southern Europe, right? That
yeah,
it's you guys actually go to work in the morning. That's
yeah,
really the difference.
yeah. And also, it gives everybody, damn team, a day more rest. So why not?
Yeah, Monday games, weeknight games. I
Hey,
get.
Vlad, yeah, of course you wanna drink while watching Bochum because that's the only way to endure a Bochum match. They're still on 1 point, haven't won a match.
Oh boy.
Poor Bochum, and they get slaughtered everywhere, man. Poor guys.
Some guys just like receiving it. What could I say? Uh, on the receiving end this weekend, thankfully, it was Udinese who didn't. They barely showed up. I
They didn't
I
do
was just
anything,
kind of
man.
embarrassed for them in a lot of ways. They did actually show up a bit in the second half, but it was one of those games where was did we have an easy time? That's kind of my big question. Was it an easy game, or did we kind of
Look,
just make it look easy, or they were just that bad? What's going on here?
so I watched it afterwards because I was at the Saturday evening game, so I rewatched the game early today, and maybe I don't know if it is that I had no suspense because I already knew how the game finished, or But for me, honestly, the game looked very, very comfortable, honestly. Like, did they even have big like, they didn't have no oh, you have it on the screen, like, they didn't create anything. They and sorry to say it, but they barely tried. S
So it
mo mo
wasn't just me, like, it looked bad.
Yeah. Most of the game, it looked like they couldn't string 2 passes, behind each other. Maybe that is because they let, our boy Samajic go. And yeah, dude, they were just trash. They were just trash, honestly. And I knew heading into the game that honestly it wouldn't be a bad game for us. And I think I said it after the who did we man, our tie. Who did we tie?
Inter?
The
Parma?
Inter? Parma, thank you. Sorry, yeah, who's remembering that, man? No, and
Yeah,
already
I'm
after
usually the
that
dumb
that
one.
game I wasn't too scared of Udine. So, like, defensively, they're not incredible, and I knew going into the game that whatever minutes Koopmeiners will be able to give us, we will have control over the match. And then what I rewatched today, like from beginning to the end, like he had those little turns where he keeps the ball an additional like couple of seconds. The game was so calm, honestly, and we had control over the midfield. And his passing immediately was really really good. Like our winger play was really good, and how Koopmeiners involved them. Like I really liked what we were doing, and honestly, defensively, it was completely stable. And honestly, if if I decided, I think the Cambiaso, Kalulu, Gatti is those are our best three defenders, and then maybe Chuck and Savona on the right, or you switch Cambiaso to the right and play Cabal on the left. I think that should be our defense going forward right now.
So
And it looked
Dash
completely stable.
Dash has bounced in here from the restaurant. What's going on, man?
Nothing. I didn't want to cut off David, because he iterated everything I was thinking to the point, because I was along the lines where I didn't see much from Udinese, and offensively Udinese is not a crazy good team, and they were coming at us with a 3-5-1-1, so I wasn't really expecting much there. And the other thing too, it's like, it's not to take away from us, right? Like, defensively, like, we were compact, we held the space, we did proper zonal marking. There was some instances where it was a little bit shaky. For me, this is a get right game. Like, this is one of those games where you just need to go in there, just get some results, and just get some 3 points going, just to keep up with the table. Um, Good Lord, Lions game's going, and everyone's like freaking out. Everyone's just erupting. Pick six, I think. But uh, kind of going more on the lines of it, though. Tactically, I looked at a couple of things, and I thought it was good to get back the way that they were. Ironically, we're better away than we are at home, which is something that shocks me entirely. Because if you look at, most of our wins have come from away matches, and we kind of barely scrape by at home.
Mhm.
It does help that Atalanta did us a solid by stifling Napoli, but Inter still won against Venezia. But look, it's a comfortable win. You got to take it as they go. I still think that there's big questions to be asked when we're playing against a quality side, but it's a positive trajectory. So there's not really much I have issue with it.
I
Hon
thought you were gonna come in here hard with a monologue about a certain player. Are we doing
Why?
that?
Because he missed again?
Are we going there?
Do I need to?
I don't know. Do you?
No. I mean, it's an dude. It's at this
It
point,
is
it's an
it is
expectation.
what it is, honestly. Like, I don't think it needs a big discussion anymore, because
No.
we know what we are getting sometimes, and we know what we are getting like the other times. Like, we know that, like, this game was trash. The next game maybe he scores a brace again, and then we get a 2 or 3 game spell where he plays like shit again. Like, I don't know
Look,
if it
my
needs any commenting, because at this point
no.
we know what we're
I
expecting.
don't think it. I don't think it does, right? Like, unless we want to mess with Doll, if Doll's in the chat. But like, it really, there is no conversation that we need in regards to this, because it's what it is now. This is the baseline. He's literally the definition of the meme. Sometimes maybe good, sometimes maybe shit. And when his shit, it's a whole lot of shit. So like at this point, keep the value. Hopefully he's able to maintain a steady sellable value, and then you just move on from him. I think that's the case because fair enough. But no, but like in reality though, because it's just like I think you play him, you let him do his thing, maintain a positive sell value, and then you move on from him. Because the way that I see this, the way that this works schematically is we have to put all of our eggs in our basket for him to score offensively. And then that sacrifices us defensively. Like we have to continuously spam ball after ball after ball. And he's just not a pragmatic player. Just like, for example, with Moise Keane, right? At Fiorentina. Keane is absolutely cooking because Palladino is just throwing a full-blown offense over there. So I think that's his style. It is what it is. You move him on over there.
So this is something interesting. This is one of the thoughts that I want to bring up. And we're talking about we said we weren't really going into it, and we are kind of getting into it now.
We're there. We're in that bitch.
Okay, I want to bring up Timothy Weah. I'm getting up his stats. But he's at 3 goals now. Over 6 games. And Duson's 6 goals over 10 games.
Hey, let's be honest. Three are penalties. 3 are penalties that he did not earn. I'm sorry. I don't mean to be that guy. Like, I don't mean to be that guy, right? Like, because, like, for example, if he, got fouled in the box or he created a handball by doing something, I'll count it. No problem. But my issue is like those pens that he received was, again, Yildiz taking on a dribble, Cambiaso winning one. Like, it's stuff that he has no correlation to the play. So, like, again, I don't mean to be an asshole when I do it, but, like, when it comes to him, it's 3 in open play. Those are the 3 that he bagged. Those are what he got. That's where I'm leaving it. If you want to say, hey, the penalties you still got to make them, of course, I understand, but didn't earn those pens. I'm just not going to count those, in my opinion. That's my opinion. That's my thoughts on that.
Okay, so the thing I want to pull out of this, because that is a good point. If Wade was given those pens, would he have put them in? No, probably. He has played striker. He's a guy that knows how to shoot, and he very well, like for the U.S. Does he take pens? Who takes the pens for the U.S. typically?
Pulisic,
okay. I believe that makes sense. But Wade probably could step in, especially if they're going for penalty kicks, like lining up the 5, right? So we'll negate that, I guess. Sure. Do you want to negate it? Do we count it? The fact of the matter is,
it depends. Yeah, it depends on the discussion you want to have, right? Like if you want to compare it from open play, yeah, we negate it. If we want to compare it from a holistic approach, sure, why not?
So basically, Weah has played roughly half as much in terms of like minutes and has produced half as many goals by being a winger. So now the conversation goes to, do we even need to bother trying to feed Dusan when everything's coming from the wings? Because let's look at Conceição as well. And now you have Thuram, who finally woke up and is just barging straight down the center. It's like, what? He's a pylon. He becomes a pylon at this point, right? Because
exactly. I'm sorry, Dave. Go ahead.
No, we're just forced to go to other outlets, and these other outlets right now are firing off.
Well, I mean, you look at it from the tactical aspect of it. Like essentially, they've moved him away from the center spot or the center forward, and Way would go in there and hit some of those tap-ins. So it's just like when I look at it, and this is what's interesting, right? Because one of the things I was bitching about for the past couple of weeks from the midfield structure is you need 3 traits: physical bruiser, a lateral facilitator, and a creator. This game against Udinese, we had all 3 at the same time. Locatelli, your lateral facilitator. You had Thuram as your physical bruiser. Koop Meyers as your creative outlet as your midfield. That's finally like a full functioning midfield. Like that is a proper midfield.
That was the perfect midfield composition, by the way. That have you seen like the control we had over the game? Like we were able to do whatever we want. We were physical due to Locatelli and Thuram because they were winning nearly everything that came into their direction in the midfield. And how they laid it off to Koop Meyers and how he was able to share the ball to the wingers. Like perfect midfield composition. But sorry, it wasn't about the midfield. Sorry.
Davide Caru calling us out with the conversation when you're not having the conversation. We're getting into it. We lied. McKennie over Thuram personally. I think the fact that those can interchange right now that's a nice option. Yeah, that's good to have. And tight schedule, you rotate, you get one game, one the other. They might sub in and out for each other. It keeps things fresh, but it gives you a bit of rest and it gives you the game time. It's a good balance right now.
Yep.
So yes, I'm looking at it now. I got the numbers. For Weah, 357 minutes played, 3 goals, 1 assist. And then for Dusan, it's 906. So not even half for Weah. And that's just 6 goals, no assists. 11 starts to the 7 starts. Like Weah, who's just some punk ass from America. That's what a lot of fans feel. I'm not saying that's what we say, but like he's just some punk ass from America. There's like, who is this guy? He's some second stringer, only playing because Nico Gonzalez. Well, his numbers are decent right now. So, what's the other guy's problem?
I think he needs a rest. You sit him for a little bit, rest him up. Maybe the rest will do him well. That's a possibility. But
you
like
Weah in because Weah can play as a striker. He's not a great Italian top tier striker, mind you. Maybe in North America when he's playing Panama.
Somebody, yeah. But like, I mean, the thing is though, like, I don't want this to completely be like a Dusan conversation because I think we need to get past that because we know what he is. I think right now what we need to look at like, for example, alternatives to mix things up. I mean, that only happens. This conversation only happens is whether or not you can answer the question: how consistently are we going to have the 3 correct characteristics of midfielders playing? Because, like, for example, from what I've seen and what I've noticed, if you do not have the 3 correct characteristics, this team is done. Yeah, this team is completely done.
Yeah.
Like this, this thing is like, for example, and again, I'm not knocking on Moto's coaching style or anything like that, but that is probably the biggest setback or the biggest weakness that this team has right now currently is that where it's just like, okay, if I don't have the 3 correct compositions that run this cog, either my offense is going to suck or my defense is going to suck, or some cases both. Because, like, for example, you've seen, like, yes, we're scoring, like, yeah, we got a point, we won a point against Inter, but at the same time, it's just like, okay, that was us throwing everything all offensively in the midfield, really struggled on counterattacks. Stuttgart, same thing with Stuttgart, right? Where we struggled essentially in the middle of the park because we were too small and not physically stable enough. With Parma, the creativity wasn't there initially, and the defensive stability wasn't there as well. So when you're missing certain traits or certain things of it, this team struggles. Because, like, for example, this midfield is very, very well overcompensating for the lack of proper backline that we have. Because, like, for example, we can, Kalulu is playing really, really well, right? We can say that. And, like, for example, this back line, you saw it against Parma how it looked when it wasn't the correct midfield, and you saw how it looked against Udine with the correct midfield. And yes, I think that also answers the fact that, yes, for the Danilo haters, I don't think Danilo should start currently until he gets his shit together. But at the same time, you noticed it wasn't just Danilo that didn't play. Cabal was taken out as well. Because if you've noticed from a tactical perspective of the gaps that Cabal and Danilo leave on that left side, I think Moto watched the show and he watched us bitch about it and was like, okay, yeah, I'm not doing that.
Coop, distributing flawlessly makes me happy. I don't need him scoring at all if we keep winning like this from
Elon. Yeah, exactly. He just needs to scare him.
Look, there are a couple of problems that are down to our midfield rotation and how, if and when players are fit. It impacts us defensively because, like, tell me the defense in the top 5 European leagues that is playing a 30-plus year old that is too slow in the backline without the midfield protection in front of him, and that is what we had the last games. Like, none of the European teams does have that did have that problem. So of course, like, having a stable midfield in front of you is a very important and basic part of having this strong defense, because it impacts your defense, of course. Like, if you don't have if you don't have a proper midfield in front of you that can keep your pockets clean, like if needed, like, yeah, of course, like every defense will needs some help defending, so to say.
Exactly, because schematically it forces a team to come at you at a certain direction, which is
Yep.
easy to then counter and just dissect. Because, like, for example, you look at Inter, right? They're playing De Vrij. They were playing Acerbi last season. I'm using last season because that's when they won the title. So, like,
Yep.
you saw that, right? Acerbi and De Vrij, old as shit, old as buckets. But they were still playing them because you look at who's playing in front of them. Because, again, a
Get
good
beat by
midfield
the
can
midfield,
compensate. Exactly. Good midfield can compensate for that and also facilitate your offense. Like, for example, if we were able to consistently play these three, Coop, Thuram, and Locatelli, and they were all three of them are able to contribute offensively with goals and assists, best midfield by far in Serie A. If everyone's healthy and they're in form, I think nothing can top that midfield. With the diversity of characteristics and abilities that those players have, by far the best midfield in the league. Nothing
Absolutely.
comes close to it. However, the issue, and this is something that Mota needs to figure out, because I think this is where I see Mota's flaw as a coach, is when the script isn't going the right way. Or, for example, putting in the right characteristics or knowing what characteristic to put in and what characteristic to take out. Because, like, for example, for me, my issue that I have with him is the substitution capabilities. There's sometimes where you're losing a certain battle, and I think sometimes he delays the subs. Like, for example, the one thing I can draw a parallel with him and Max is those two, for some reason, currently are very, very hesitant to make substitutions.
Chenzo coming in saying, boys, what's going on, Vince? So, I want to open up the lines in a little bit. Give ourselves that half hour to waffle on a little bit. Before we do, let's get just a couple minutes on our thoughts going forward. Lille, 2 days from now. What's the game plan here? What's the scouting report, essentially? How do we feel?
Honestly, I'm scared, man, because Lille is playing a very quick style, like very quick wingers. Jigrova, ironically, is cooking, like who we were looking at in the summer. Like he is doing incredibly well. Jonathan David is quick. Angel Gomez, former from the Manchester United youth, I think half Portuguese, half English. Also very quick, very sure at his feet. And Sarawi, like, dude, their wingers, their midfield play, their striker play is really, really good. But they're not honestly great defensively. We can get them defensively, but honestly, we have to be stable defensively ourselves. And it depends on what our rotation is. If Koopmeiners will play, will he start? Will he get 45 minutes? Will he get 60 minutes? Will we save him? Yeah, that's the question also.
The question is the way that you beat these guys is how confident are you in your counterattack?
Yeah, and
That's
for
going to
that
be
we
the
need
question
Koopmeiners. Like that is the thing about it.
because when it comes to playing against a team like Lille, you just need two passes to break them down tactically. You just need two good passes.
It is yet another 4-2-3-1.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You honestly, like, for example, is generally what I'm assuming is they push high on the left and the right. There's a pocket of gap in between the right back and the fullback and the winger. So if you're able to ping one there, and then that opens up a gap where the center back's trying to overlap or to help cover there, and that opens up the middle. So you can dissect them through the middle, or you can dissect them through the wings, depending on what they're showing you. But generally, when you're playing a counter press or a counter attack, you'll essentially what they have to do is they have to counter press in the midfield and then do a 1-2 pass to break through the line simply, because there's no building out from the back against Lille. I don't think you can do that. And also, I don't think that this team is capable of sitting 10 back and soaking up pressure and hitting them on a counter. So what they have to do is essentially your two defensive midfielders or your defensive pivot. In this game, I would potentially maybe play Thuram and Locatelli or Thuram and McKennie. They have to be able to win the ball as it's going to Jonathan David and then start the counter press or the counter attack immediately. Because what I'm assuming is they want to win the ball near the midway, the half line, and then start doing a 1-2 counter, one to Koopmeiners to Chico, Yildiz, or whoever's available on the slot. So I think that would be the most effective way for them to break down Lille tactically. Will it work, or will Lille telegraph that? Probably, but I think from a high level perspective, I think that's going to be the best approach that they take against this team.
Yeah.
Honestly, I feel like the
So
game's going to come down to whoever striker doesn't completely just whiff it over the bar.
yeah.
We're
So
fucked.
the
Well,
problem
no,
is,
Jonathan David's the same profile.
yeah, but David is having a decent season. Look, like he
He
has
is
7 goals.
7. Yeah.
So
7 in the
7
French
goals,
league
and I
versus
think
6 in...
that's yeah, and that's only League 1. How many does he have in the Champions League already? Like
But he is
he's
known. That's what I'm saying. He is known to
yeah,
whiff the ball.
yeah,
And it could be one of
yeah,
those games where they're just going at each other,
yeah,
trading punches, and
yeah,
who's going to take advantage of that situation?
yeah.
Because
Dude,
both David and
I hope it's
Vlahovic.
Vlahovic. I
uh,
hope it's Vlahovic, but
Yeah, do we
look,
get RB Leipzig Vlahovic, or do we get like every other game Vlahovic?
That's where
look,
I'm
the
irritated because we don't know which one we're gonna get, and it's hard to
yeah,
fucking predict because of that. It's like,
yeah,
yeah, but he scored. And the thing is, and I wish I had my computer because I had the fucking clip saved. But I
yeah,
keep hearing but he scored important, crucial goals for us. Yeah, do you realize how many points he's costed us as well? Like, can we not have that as a discussion point? Like, sure, great, he scored important goals in games, but he's also blown games as well.
yeah.
So
Yeah,
it's
it
like
does
Look,
go
that's
both
where,
ways.
look,
and
we shouldn't underestimate Lille at all because
no, I
like
don't think so.
okay, look, they are conceding 0.9 goals per game, which is almost a goal per game. So we have to score, and I think we will score at least that 1 goal or maybe 2, because you can get at them. Like I will go through their schedule a bit with you all, but yeah, they concede almost a goal, but they score 1.6 goals per game as well. So we have to absorb the pressure they put on us. And honestly, they, like Vlad said, not underestimate them. Like they didn't beat just Real Madrid though. Like they tied to Lyon on Friday, okay. They beat Lens, which Lens is everybody knows, the new hipster pick team that everybody loves. They beat Diego Simeone in Madrid, by the way, and he still plays the 3-4-2-1, and they scored 3 on him. They they tied to Monaco, which Monaco is an incredible team. They they beat Toulouse. Okay, Toulouse I think got freshly promoted. Beat Real Madrid, scored 30 again against a promoted team. But yeah, dude, we have to be careful. And I think the only 2 games they lost was 3-1 versus PSG in Ligue 1 and against Saint-Etienne. Like we have to be careful because they score like a lot of goals.
Oh yeah, no, absolutely.
So the lines are open. We hit the 30-minute mark. So dive on in here. Let us hear what you have to say. Whether it's Deshaun, just regular old Doosan, or the Lille game. Looking ahead, there's a few guys we can definitely talk about as well. Thuram being one of those profiles I think needs deserved mention. But here is Toto. What's going on,
Damn,
man?
Mario's very, very negative.
And Jeff. Oh, yeah, he is. He is. How's it going, guys?
What's going on, fellas? I'm a bit miffed over the end of that Inter game still. I'm a little upset.
Yeah. All right. Do you two want to call me out for anything? Because I got to skedaddle in a little bit, so I'll let you guys roast me before I hop off.
No, not this week.
Oh, darn.
He's saving it.
All righty, kids. Then I will let you two cook. I'll tag out.
See you, Dash.
I think you're the one that needs to go cook.
Literally.
Yeah. All right, man. Thanks for joining in. See you later.
Yeah, no problem.
All right. Well, no Dash, but we have you two fine gentlemen, Jeff and Toto. So, what do we want to bring up? What's on the docket tonight?
Just for that Lille game, since you guys just finished talking about it, I think the one thing in Juve's favor is Lille's pretty beat up. I think they have about 7 or 8 injuries that they're dealing with. So they'll be a little, they won't have as much depth. So my hope is that Juve kind of gets a quick goal, sort of like what they did with Udine over the weekend, and we can kind of control it and see it out. But yeah, I mean, I don't know with with this team. I still don't know. I have doubts with us with a low block, which I don't think Lille will do. But I also have doubts with us when we get pressed, which I think Lille will try to do. I think they're going to take a page out of Stuttgart's playbook and try to cause some issues for us there. I'm surprised Udine didn't try that. That's what I thought I would see during the game yesterday, but they were pretty, at least in the first half, pretty lackluster. They were a bit more dangerous in the second half, a little bit wasteful. They did have some shots on goal, but they didn't take advantage of it. And like I said, thankfully we got those 3 points because everybody else that we're chasing right now got a win, and I'm pretty sure Lazio is going to handle Cagliari tomorrow. So yeah, we'll be in Conference League qualification spot after tomorrow.
Hey,
Pretty sweet.
that's Europe, man. we made Europe.
Yeah.
Man, it's a long season, about a quarter of the way through.
No, I'm
made it to the time change.
I'm still calm. So
Yeah.
I'm annoyed.
We'll figure it out. Honestly, I'm not at the stage where I'm watching where the opponents are already. Just get our shit done, get our defense fixed in January, put a band-aid on. Dude, it will be fine, man. Chill, give Mota time, give the team time, give Koopmeiners time. Like I think you all saw like when he finally played the game, how fucking good our midfield is. Like give it time, man. Everything will figure itself out.
I'm noticing the thing with me is I'm noticing like two things. I don't like overglazing a player, but I do think Koopmeiners is really that important. He is that dude.
Yes. Yeah.
I think the moment where I didn't see him play with Stuttgart, we lacked the creative aspect of the game. But one other thing I wanted to mention in the midfield that not a lot of people don't recognize is when a midfielder holds the ball, like holding the ball and not losing it is such a crucial thing. I noticed that with Kefren Turan too, and those are very important factors to keep.
Yeah.
Because like being strong, physical, and not being able to lose the ball is one component of winning. Another thing I noticed in the other games to say, when we were talking about the Stuttgart, Inter, and the Parma games, Danilo was the center defense. I'm sorry, and I know I don't want to talk about it too many times. I don't think he is necessarily the guy to do a back four. Like it's just I don't see him like capitulating to that style because first of all, he was never a natural center back to begin with. And second of all, he was better in a back three. Like I think Allegri utilized him to the best possible way and tried to adapt him into that particular position. Whereas like Mota wants a natural center back and Danilo is not necessarily a natural center back. So those two things I noticed. So missing Koopmeiners and putting Danilo in, you're going to have consequences. But if you put maybe one of them, maybe we can do something. As far as Dusan, I'm expecting what I expect. He's either hot or cold. It is what it is. I'm not going to sit here and cry about it, but those are the things. And hopefully even Nico Gonzalez comes in. Other than that, I'm not necessarily too worried.
No,
Yeah,
in
it's still
the
so calm.
yeah, no, in the end, we have to live with Vlahovic is either scoring or not scoring. But yeah, man, we just have to live with it. Our wing play when we have fit wingers is really good, and it clicks the best when Koopmeiners plays because he distributes the ball so beautifully. I agree with that at some point, and for the price he played, you expect goals and assists from him, but it will come. I think it will come. It will figure itself out. And our best midfield, to answer Vincenzo's question, is I think it's Koopmeiners, Thuram, Locatelli right now. And the subs being for Locatelli, Douglas Luiz. For Thuram, it is McKennie. And for Cope, sadly, it's Fajoli, but I think we need a better replacement
I'm
for
gonna be
Cope.
honest with you. I'll put Kenan Yildiz instead. Like I know he plays everywhere, but that would be my take on
Yep.
Coop, like who's a better centerpiece for that position.
Yep. No, but
Well,
the thing is, if you play Yildiz every other week and Koopmeiners every other week, you can't put Yildiz as a 10 for Koopmeiners. That's the problem. Like then you have to replace Yildiz with like whoever you have, because the other ones are traditionally right wingers. Like Wea is traditionally right winger, Conceição and Nico Gonzalez as well, because with the inverted style, you need them on the right side. So you have no natural replacement for maybe Bangula, maybe, but I don't know. Do you depend? Can you depend on him already to be that consistent to throw him in and have zero worries, for example, in a big game?
that's the price we paid in this transfer market. I think this is literally the price we paid. We wanted quality, but we got rid of numbers as a result. Like that's literally how we went through it. We sacrificed 2 players in order to get one good player. It's like a Yu-Gi-Oh game. I know it's a weird reference, but that's literally it.
Yep.
Okay, sorry.
Okay,
I thought you had.
that was the weird silence.
Yeah, the weird silence. I thought you would have had more for that.
I
Okay.
agree with everything Jeff said. That's all.
I want to bring up now because I am interested to hear you guys' thoughts on Thuram specifically today, because he was criticized a fair bit leading up into this game, and he was pretty much involved on everything that looked good, including those couple of goals. So, how do you guys feel about it in this game?
The first half he was pretty good. Second half dropped off a bit, and then got subbed out. I think it was in the mid 60th minute. Yeah, I mean, bad luck on him not getting that goal, having it be an own goal. He basically created the chance by himself. He put the ball and hit the post. I thought it actually went over the line. I was surprised, and then the goalie didn't even see it, so it bounced right off of him in there. So I'm sure he'll take it regardless. I mean, it's a bit interesting. I envision Thuram being more of like like a sweeper midfielder, sort of like destroyer, more like Matuidi, but obviously he's got a much better touch than Matuidi, who had bricks for feet. So I don't know if people quite remember those days. So he's a bit more versatile there. So yeah, it's nice to see him being a bit more offensive minded, putting himself in some dangerous positions. I think he pretty much did what we've been seeing McKennie do the last few games. So yeah, I thought it was okay. Still, he had some bad passes. So his I wish his accuracy was a tad bit better, but I'll take it. It was good. If I had to give him, I don't know what his official rating was, but if I had to give him a rating for that game, probably like 6.5.
Okay, so you're not like super high on it. Jeff, what do you think?
About Kefren, I think for what he was worth, or what he's supposed to do in the midfield, if he's supposed to be strong, physical, and win the ball, he's not doing bad. Holding on to the ball, he doesn't do bad. Could he get better in passing? Maybe. But overall, I don't think he's as bad as people make him out to be, though. Like, I don't think he's as horrible. I think he's
the thing about him is, like, the passing was never his strength. Like, what we got him for is to be a proper box-to-box player that if he gets the ball, dribbles it a bit forward, or that can lay it off to one of the players next to him. And that role, he played it really, really well. And I think the problem we had, he just wasn't fit so far. Like, yes, he had the first part of the season, but that he didn't play like proper games with Koopmeiners and with Locatelli, like our midfield was supposed to be composited. And now this was the first game with maybe our proper midfield, and he was out for a month almost, or for 3 weeks now. Like, he missed 3 full games, and for this being like his first game properly back, where he started and played a lot, and with the new with this midfield, I think it was a really good game, honestly.
I agree. Like, I don't think it was as bad. I think I kind of criticize Malta because he like rotates too much. He changes players every game. I get a new surprise, and it's like sometimes you need some form of consistency. I'm not saying you have to do it all the time, but some form, not necessarily like not necessarily to cost confusion. That's pretty much it. Like, I think it would be way too much confusion if you constantly put new players and they have to constantly get used to with one another. And that's the thing. It gets annoying. So you're not going to perform at your best if you don't constantly put the same guys all the time, or at least two out of like 3 games, 2 times you put them in there. That's what I'm trying to say. Yeah.
More consistency for sure. People have definitely asked for that out of the Mota system. However, you can't deny how important the rotation is this season. 2 to 3 days rest between Champions League and a very, very competitive Serie A this year. It's tough. And there's, of course, the cups. Throw in a couple other competitions in there, just add it on, any international stuff going on. I mean, you gotta do need to rotate, and we see the guys getting knocked internationally as well. They come back injured.
Yep.
What?
Or they go injured.
Or they go. Yeah. I mean, either way.
I think they need to limit the competitions that they do. I think this is getting ridiculous. Either again, with the whole FIFA thing as a whole, the whole totality is add a bigger squad list, or figure something else out. But you can't have players over playing too many minutes, because then I already know the clubs are going to start bitching, whether you have a Real Madrid, Man City, Liverpool, or Bayern Munich, Juventus, Inter. Like, they're going to bitch, because it's going to be like, hey, you're taking these guys to international break and they're coming injured because we're overplaying our guys. Like, what the hell? So FIFA needs to figure something out with that. And it's like, you want to make money, but you also don't want to be completely oblivious and greedy constantly. Like, you have to be smart about it. So
you're expecting UEFA and FIFA to be smart about something.
I don't expect anything, but I expect them to do something after they pay the consequence. That's usually life. Like, you're gonna, no matter how many times we tell people, hey, don't do this, this is a stupid idea, people do it, and then they screw up, and then they learn. That's basically how it works.
I hope they have what's coming to them eventually, sometime in the future, kind of like what's going down with Diddy.
Oh, it already happened. Like, Sepp Blatter, I think they sent him to prison because of the corruptness and everything in FIFA. And I think he went to prison because of them giving Qatar the World Cup, because there was evidence found that the Saudis bought votes with Rolexes and everything. And yes, Germany was involved as well. Sorry.
No, I'm talking about dismantling the whole cabal here, kind of like Diddy and his merry gentleman or whoever was involved in all that. Because yesterday.
I gotta be honest with you, that's really hard to do, because if you want to get rid of that kind of cabal, you got to get rid of an entire institution of billionaires. I mean, not just billionaires, but just wealthy people in totality that have power to get away with stuff like this.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that's why we wanted to create the Super League.
that
maybe
is it. Yes, that's
could be the case. Could be the case. I don't know.
It's one of the bigger reasons.
That would never happen, but yeah.
Yep. But who would have thought that? And that's why I'm comparing with Diddy in this case, because I know we like to say no Diddy in these parts, but honestly, no Diddy for reals, because they are taking down like a whole Hollywood cabal right now. Everyone's getting implicated apparently. So it has to be one of these things. Like, it has to crumble. You have to find that smoking gun, incriminating evidence that links to like this whole tree of corruption. With the proof, of course.
The only way you do that is if the system itself fails. Like, it's like, okay, you know how they try to get Juventus with all the bullshit. It's the same thing. Like once an institution falls down, then you get them. That's how it usually works.
And we have for the first time here, I believe it's the first time, Elon.
Hey
and
guys.
You also have to correct me on everything, like we talked about yesterday. But yeah, how you doing, man?
Very good, thanks.
Welcome,
Okay, so
brother.
say your name for us, so I know for sure how to pronounce it.
It's hard for Americans to say my name, but it's Elud. The
Elud.
sound, Yeah.
Elud.
So where are
Okay.
you from?
When I was in the States, like I had a nickname. It's Eldo, but
Eldo. Okay.
it doesn't.
That's dope. Where are you from exactly?
Currently, I'm in Romania. It's 1:00 here
Holy
in
shit.
Transylvania.
Nice.
We've seen each other with Sal on Bepe's channel once.
Oh,
Really
yes,
cool.
yes.
Yes. I think I might
If
remember.
if my
Yes.
face is familiar, it's from there.
I think, yeah, it might be a possibility. I don't know. It's been a minute. That's why my brain's fried from all the other crap I do. So, yeah.
Don't worry about it.
All those Florida things that you do.
Dealing with hurricanes is one of them. It's that season, but it's almost over. So that's always a good thing.
Yeah, you survived another one.
Yes.
Prayers up for Valencia.
Yes, Valencia.
For
They're
the floods.
flooding. Just kind of crazy. What did they end up rescheduling any of those games?
Yeah,
they
they
just play?
rescheduled Real Madrid versus Valencia and a couple other games that have or should have happened in that region.
Okay, well that's good to hear because they weren't going to apparently.
Yep.
From what I initially heard, but there you go. I was too busy paying attention to the other.
I thought Real Madrid, because of their pettiness, would say no. Game has to go forward.
Oh no, that would be rough. I was busy paying attention to the other rainstorm over in Brazil today, so I didn't see the games that ended up getting played.
Hey, the
man.
rainstorm was yesterday,
and this morning.
Proper one. Oh yeah.
But anyways, let's digress. I'm already forgetting how to pronounce it properly. Elod? Oh, how am I doing? I'm screwing it up.
Don't worry. Yeah, we tried to make you say Gyökeres yesterday, but
there it is. Thank you for saying it.
Gyökeres is a hard one, man.
Yeah, I was just fumbling all over the place with that
these
one.
strange Hungarian names with Gyökeres, Szekeres, Kerekes, these all are like traditional names, but it's hard for foreign people to pronounce.
Did somebody actually pass away from St. Castelleo, a former Valencia player, passed away? I did not know that. That's crazy. So that's pretty serious then.
The floods are horrible, man.
So you're telling me that even if Finney won the Ballon d'Or, his first game wouldn't be against Valencia. Wait, is there something in that one? Am I missing something about Valencia?
I don't know if this is about Vinny not winning it. It's getting annoying. I'm sorry, but Vinny Jr. fans need to chill the hell out. I'm sorry.
Yeah, it's been bad.
Oh my god, it's so bad, dude. The comments. Have you seen people getting into the comments of Olivia Rodrigo and bashing her in the comments?
I give up. It's like it's putting a hammer in my head and smashing it, because for me it's like, brother, okay, you want a Real Madrid player to win the Ballon d'Or, I would have given it to Jude Bellingham. It's like I said it prior to the ceremonies. It was either going to be Rodri or Bellingham. Like, those are the two viable options. I didn't see anything else. Like, there's no more like 50, 60, 70 goals scored in a season like Messi and Ronaldo. Like, those days are over. Get it out of your way. Like, I don't know what the hell people are like thinking. Like, okay, Vinny he has some pretty good technique. He's got some flair. I get it, but his stats, Bellingham's stats last season were a lot better than Vinny Jr.'s. They're a lot better than Vinny Jr. So it's like, you're out of your damn mind.
So Vlad's saying Valencia's where Vinny got the racist chance. That makes a lot more sense.
Okay.
But
No,
but,
this
but
stuff
he's
is
getting
pretty
it. But
excuses.
he's getting them everywhere. That's a problem. But yeah, it started against
Yeah, I
Valencia.
mean, it shouldn't
Sorry.
happen anywhere. But that's a deep cut because he said this is allegedly one of the claims that he didn't win the Ballon d'Or because he's black.
bullshit.
I don't know. Do we need to bring down the cabal? This is going back to bringing down UEFA and FIFA.
First of
all
all,
these
the Ballon d'Or is a joke. It's a popularity contest, and that's coming from a Messi fan. And I like Messi over Ronaldo, and I'm saying that like that the Ballon d'Or is a joke. Get it out of the way. Like I don't care about the Ballon d'Or. Like you can have 20. It means nothing to me.
You can go, Jeff. Jeff's laying it down. Don't even matter.
Doesn't matter.
Buffon didn't get it because he's a goalkeeper. So
Yeah, no,
what are we
it's
saying?
seriously.
It was over for me in 2006 with the Ballon d'Or. So don't take it seriously.
Yeah.
And the year where Lewandowski was like unironically the best striker in Europe during the COVID season, they said, "Hey, no Ballon d'Or this season."
Well, even the season after that, he should have won it over Messi.
Yep.
Again, I'm a Messi fan. Like this is coming out of me, like that, or then Haaland should have won it over Messi. Like some things, like I gotta call it spade to spade. Like I'm not a complete like fanboy. I don't like fanboying over players. It gets annoying, but you call it spade for spade. That's why Ballon d'Or never should be taken seriously. Like not even one bit, dude. I don't even know what the heck people are like so obsessed about it.
Yeah. But I think with this one, honestly, Rodri was the right choice.
I
And
agree.
Vlad, you're 100% right. Like you could have considered Carvajal as well, because in my opinion, he was like last season from start to finish, and including the Euros and everything. Dude, he was incredible. Maybe the best right back like out there in European football. At what is he? 33 years old, 34, 32, something in that range. And he was simply incredible, man.
I got no comment on Carvajal.
Dude, he was pocketing the
I'm never gonna say anything nice about him though. Like I'm never gonna say anything. I do not like him. But he's a good player, obviously. I understand. But still, if I were to play against him, I'm gonna be honest. Like and he would like get in my face like that, I would punch him. Like not even kidding. Like legitimately get sent off. Like I couldn't do it. He would irritate me.
We don't praise Real Madrid players on this channel, right?
Are we anti-Real Madrid here? Is this panel anti-Real?
Oh no, it's just me. Don't worry.
Honestly, I dislike them as well, but it is what it is. Like I'm fair. I'm recognizing.
Rodri's the reason we don't have to hear Inter fans talk to us about another Champions League. So I'm all for him.
But I think Lukaku was.
I'm talking about on purpose.
I'm talking about.
You just wake up and then your heart is just pumping. Boom, 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 boom. Yeah, so those moments are crazy.
Eyes closed like that when he tried to score.
I was thinking that's what he did to the AC Milan defender. What was his name again? I forgot.
Pavlovic. He killed him. Oh my god. Dude, Vlad and I like love Pavlovic. We are fighting. We are fighting for the parenthood over him. But damn, he got eaten alive by Lukaku, man.
So I wanted to bring this one up real quick, actually, because I saw from the other channel, from Gio's channel, that he brought in Antonio from IFTV.
Yes, that was fun.
So he had a comment about that goal with Lukaku. Did you guys think that it was a foul or was it a goal?
You know what? I
didn't a foul against us. But...
Yeah, it's the consistency. Just like Antonio was saying, right? Like when you look at the light, I wish I had it in front of me so I can put it up on screen. Let's see if I can find it. But otherwise, yeah, it's the consistency that Antonio was talking about, and it's what we've been talking about, and pretty much everyone else has been talking about this year.
Dude, refereeing.
He's a
so
mountain
bad.
of a man, so how can you?
I will say this though for him, like out of all the panelists there, I think he's my favorite. Now, I don't know if he's because he's not right, but he is like passionate, and I always like admire that in a fan, regardless. Like, even though I don't think he's right majority of the time, it's entertaining.
You know, I just found it kind of refreshing too. I do have to mention with Antonio, just seeing him away from IFTV, where he doesn't have to babysit those other two. He even kind of jabbed at them too, which was funny. He's like, guys, you don't even know how it's like behind the scenes constantly. We're all
I'm just happy we are ignoring the other guy that was on that panel.
Anyways, every time you skip on your clock, Juventus draws a game. Oh shit! Is that what it is? I gotta play that more often then.
We'll keep that in mind.
Yeah, we'll have to do it more often. Kenny's saying, guys, how worried about Douglas Luiz so far are you?
If he gets his damn injuries fixed, I'm not too worried.
Yeah,
I'm too superstitious. Sorry.
I know. You and Brazilians, you will not become
I'm
friends in
like,
this life.
Dave, I'm like Joachim Love and the Paul the Octopus type of superstition, if you remember that.
Oh, absolutely.
So it's like, God, no, man. I told you about Brazilian midfielders since 2010, 2009 to 2010 season, and on. I'm terrified. But I hope I'm wrong. It's the one thing I want to be wrong, and I want people to shit me on. So it's like I'm totally fine with Dougie doing good.
Yeah, we do need to see more from him. Whatever injury he has now, that's not a good sign. Clearly, that he's just gonna get himself injured just before an important match in Stuttgart, and he's missed a couple games now. 3 games, is it? Like what the hell happened? So that's a concern. He needs to get healthy, stay healthy, and get those consistent minutes and start contributing to the team. Because everyone decided, everyone was excited when we got this guy because we saw what he can do. He just now. Okay, Jeff wasn't, but generally speaking, the community was excited because they saw what he did at Aston Villa, and it just hasn't translated yet in Serie A, and it might be one of those things that takes some time. We hope. I know Jeff has just got the Brazilian bias going today.
It's not just the Brazilian bias too. I'm looking at Alicia Lehman. Like, I just don't like her. Like, she's just bad for him. I'm sorry. It's reality. Like, she's bad. Like, sometimes like you have the wrong partner, you will get distracted. I'm telling you, distractions are real. Like the right woman the wrong woman, will distract you. Like, I'm just saying, dude. And she just like wore the devil's outfit in Halloween. Like, you're supposed to be something that you're not, and she didn't even do that right. This is bullshit.
What Swedish girl hurt you in the past? I want to know.
No, it's not a Swedish girl. You have to understand something. This is not. It has nothing to do with ethnicity.
Swiss, man. Keep your facts.
This is not a matter of ethnicity.
Oh, she's Swiss?
Yeah.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what she is. Dude, she could be from Mars, Mystique. I don't care. The point is that like it has nothing to do with it. You're either a good person or a piece of shit. That's it. Doesn't matter.
Jeff, we have to ask Juve. Wasn't it the other way around? She was the main target, and we just brought Dougie with her.
Doesn't matter.
We got to get rid of. We got a depth piece for a female midfielder. We got rid of 2 of our depth pieces, and we brought in some Brazilian dude that Jeff hates. It seemed like a good idea at the time.
And on top of that, we got the most cringiest influencers roaming around Juventus.
But that's the current angle right now. Let it play out. It seems to be working. It's helping, at least with the younger folks. Jeff, you're just old and cranky. Chill out. Kids love it.
Speaking of Aston Villa,
I played on Thursday. I remember playing on Thursday, like last Thursday soccer, like played a game, and then I'm thinking to myself, like at the end, I'm like, nope, I'm an unk. This is just I'm already getting like hamstrings hurt. It's like, nah.
Uncle Jeff,
Yeah.
you're all the uncles. I think the panel is the uncles. That's what I'm going to call the panel now. The uncles. You're all just a bunch of old fucks yelling at shit.
Yeah.
It's true. It's true.
It's not untrue, anyways.
Yeah, I gave
All
up
right.
on the AstroTurf football too because my knees and ankles just don't bear it when you're over 30. Just what happens.
Dude, I agree. It's
Every time I do a squat, my knees hate me. So, it is what it is.
Yeah, you got to lubricate those joints. Don't squat when it's raining out, but you're West Coast, so that's like all the time.
Yeah. No, that's Nor. I'm SoCal. Not too much rain.
Oh, it's always yeah, that's true.
Yeah. I'm a nice part of Southern California. I'm a nice part of California. So
There you go.
Jeff, I was watching today Aston Villa getting battered by Spurs.
Oh my
Out of
god, by
curiosity.
Tottenham
Yep.
Yeah, what's up with Tottenham these days? Why they good all of a sudden? What's
Dude,
going on?
up and down. Hey, one sometimes maybe good, sometimes maybe shit.
this is the history of
Dude.
Tottenham.
Hey, honestly, one game they win it 3-0, like against Manchester United, everything is great, but then you figure out Manchester United is just shit. Then they lose 1-0 to a mid-table team, and the next game they slaughter Aston Villa 4-1. Dude, nobody knows what's going up.
I think what it is the thing where they're doing well against bigger teams, so they prepare well, and then they're just like, it's Brentford or whatever the fuck it is nowadays, and then they shit the bed. That's
In the first half, I was watching Onana because he was the guy they brought in with the Douglas money, and he's like more of a Thuram in that system. And I was like, wow, these guys know how to make business. But on the second half, they just stopped playing. So it's interesting. That guy was massive. I mean, he was battering Dragushin all match.
Don't expect Aston Villa to have perfect matches because they are in the Champions League. So obviously they are going to have a lot more competition. And on top of that part is that Aston Villa hasn't been to the Champions League in forever, since the dinosaurs, let's just say that. And it's going to take them some time to, well, not take them time, but obviously it's going to be a little bit of a rougher season. Here's one prediction I have. So if Napoli hypothetically wins, or they make it to the top 4 and Conte has a good season, I predict that the season afterwards he gets fired because the pressure is too much.
I remember Dave's poll in the beginning of the season. I predicted that he will be sacked by December, but I'm quite wrong on that one, probably.
No, and that's the thing. It was like with Conte. My opinion on Conte, I've noticed a pattern with Conte. So with Conte, he's the perfect guy to have when the club is not competing in the Champions League. So if in the previous season, if they're in the mid-table and they're not competing for the Champions League, Conte's usually good to bring in. You're rebuilding a squad based on his wishes, and then he does well, makes it to the top 4, wins the league. So usually he wins the league, and then after winning the league, he goes into the Champions League and he has to manage 4 different competitions. Then he quits. He did that with Juve, if you remember. The first season, undefeated, won the league. Then he did that with Chelsea, if you remember that one as well. Chelsea was really bad under Jose Mourinho's last year. So he was, I think that year they were in the mid-table, correct me if I'm wrong, or in the Europa League, somewhere in that
Europa
aspect.
League, I believe, yeah.
But then Conte came in and won the league on his first season because, he had money to rebuild, vice versa. He usually does well under that condition. With Inter, it was a little bit different. I discredit Tottenham because no good coach could ever make Tottenham good. Not even Pep, not even Carlo, nobody. So when he went to Inter, his first season, he did all right. He made it to the top 4. The second season, he got out of the Champions League group stage and then won the league. So with Conte, if you focus on the league and you're focusing on one thing, he will usually do well. But when it comes to juggling multiple competitions, that's when he shits the bed.
Yeah, that's the book on him. That's always that's why nobody really, a lot of people didn't want him back at Juve, because it's like, how are you going to handle 4 competitions? You know,
I didn't mind having Conte the season on Max Allegri's last season. I wouldn't have had a problem with it personally.
And
I
honestly,
would have, just because it would have. I don't think he would have done much better than what Max did, and we would have had to have paid Max contract out, and then we would have had to have overpaid for Conte.
Yeah. I mean, I'm basing it off of a sporting aspect, not just a financial. Clearly, obviously, there's like multiple factors to this, but
he wouldn't have come for just 1 year. He would have said, or a 4-year contract for me.
Oh yeah, of
That's
course,
crazy.
absolutely, absolutely.
It's not the only coach we're gonna make fun of tonight. Anyways, I want to post
Ivan
Kenny's
Jovic?
question to the. Wait for it. Kenny's question first. Skriniar, because I mean, this is what we're talking about. The defense. We had a good game, another clean sheet, but to fix the defense, first of all, it doesn't need fixing. And is Skriniar loan 6 months? Is that okay? So you guys are already just saying yes, because I was just yelling yes in my head as well. He probably
you have to, and obviously under the right conditions. I think Sal would agree with me more, where like PSG's paying most of the wages, and then we pay
at least half, at least half of it.
Whatever it is, but like something that's sustainable on our end. So
it's not going to be a great deal for us, and that's what an emergency January loan signing is. It's an emergency and just throwing down a few $1 million to plug a hole. It's not going to look pretty. Like, even if we pay half his salary, that's an expensive loan. It's like $5 million for 6 months. That's expensive.
It is 100%. I agree, but winter is not for scouting your next young defender or 21 or 20-year-old that you want for your future, because the prices are jacked up like during the winter mercato, because clubs know that you need to plug a hole. So that's not the time to do long-term business.
It's the Amazon prices just before Black Friday. They jack them all up, so it seems like you got a sale the next day.
Exactly. No, and that's why I'm considering, like, it's the best option for like price to performances. I think the best. Yes, you will pay maybe somewhat of a loan fee if you want PSG to pay the majority of a salary. But honestly, like, if you want to, thank you, JJ, plug a hole in the defense, then yes, you need. Why not, man? Why not? Instead of spending 10 million or 15 million or whatever, like on a different player, like, why not?
Yeah, he knows the league. He'll be motivated to do well. It's one of those things every once in a while where you're like, it's a win-win for both teams. It doesn't tie us anywhere past this season, which is fine, because I don't think anybody wants Skriniar on a multiple year loan. It just, I think that's more of a no-brainer than trying to figure out who we're going to bring in for attack. I mean, I know Vlahovic, he's got some, well-due criticism. Although I will say this year, I'm not as critical of him, because he's played every freaking game, and we'd be lost without him, even with the mistakes. Like he's doing more than you would think, and he's staying healthy, which is huge.
It's so surprising, by the way.
You're right, and that's what I mean. I mean, every day he doesn't get hurt, whether he has a miss or whatever, I'm still like, well, at least we can count on him for tomorrow. I'm sorry, for the next game. So, and I don't think Milik's going to be ready until towards the end of the year anyway, and who knows how many games it's going to take him to find his form. So I'm still kind of at a loss in terms of who we're going to bring in there, or if we're even going to do it. I don't see anybody that either we can bring in or that makes a ton of sense. So,
hey, Vlad, you really want to do business with Atalanta ever again? You sure? Dude, close that book.
He's going back to Davide Caru here. He could be a strong option. impressive against.
Oh,
Newcastle.
gotcha.
Yeah,
Gotcha.
I don't think he's on the market. That's also the thing. Like,
No, fuck
Uh,
Atalanta.
if a team is
Fuck
like
that.
Atalanta is doing well right now, they got their stuff figured out. They have always kept like a strong core of their players going year after year. Gasparini, he's got a system. They don't just get rid of a Hien in January.
No,
But
forget them, man. I'm over them.
But that's why
I have
Skriniar is on the table, because he's unhappy at PSG. He's not getting minutes. It's the player's will, and that's the easy part of this is the player's will. If Skriniar has already said, "Yeah, I'll play with you, Juve, figure out a deal," well, now it's up to PSG and Juve to figure out that deal. Like, the player's will part is, I think, the easy part of this right now. Sergio Ramos. Speaking of,
Big no.
If
we get enough red cards.
If
We get
you
enough
think
red cards, we don't need to add.
Danilo's old and slow, dude.
well,
Yeah.
Yeah.
No.
yeah, there's a lot
I've heard
of.
also the Dragushin rumors.
I
No,
want to
man.
say that's just
Is he-
because he used to be one of us.
Is
And
he
people-
Romanian, Dragusin?
He
Yeah.
is, yeah.
Now it makes sense. I got it.
Well, but there are those rumors, and there's always those rumors, right? When
Yeah,
a player has
He's not
left
playing
us,
constantly. They paid a bunch of money for him, and he's not
Yeah,
picked
a lot
over
of-
Van de Ven and Romero. So
is that not what we do?
Dude,
Like,
it's sorry to interrupt, but dude, how is Romero still? And they even made him the captain, I believe. Like when Yeon-min Song doesn't play, like Romero's the captain. Dude, a brother that is getting ejected like every 2 to 3 games. That is your captain. A player that has defensive lapses, a player that can't play in a 4-man defense, and then they pair him with Mickey van de Ven, who's a great like offensive center back, but and I think like you seem to watch Tottenham a couple of times. Like their defense is bad.
just today, I was curious to scout Aston Villa. Don't really watch them.
Oh, okay. No, but the defensively, like Tottenham, like one time, like one game, it's good, but then they have three shit games defensively. And Dragusin is he's still so young, man. I don't know if it's the Premier League and the high pace why he gets figured out, but like opponents are able to get to play balls like behind him and play around him very, very easily. He
Yeah,
gets
that's-
pulled out of the back line very easily. And you saw that with the Romanian national team as well. Romania offensively was incredible, like how they pressed and won the ball back. But when you broke through their first two lines and you were in front of their defense, like he was very easy to play around.
LJJ
yeah, he's
saying,
struggling coming from Serie A, and you get into a top team in the
absolutely.
Premier League, you struggle.
LJJ saying Harry Maguire, no, that cannot
No.
be. He cannot leave United. There's something in those lead pipes that he drinks that if he doesn't consistently get that heavy metal in his system, he won't perform. Like he is
Honestly-
quintessential to that Man United team. He cannot leave. The whole team, like if you think it's a shit show now, if Harry Maguire leaves that team, they cease to exist. They go into a black hole. He is
No, the
Man United.
the sad stories. I think if you actually put Maguire into a proper system, he might be an actual good player. I think it's the pressure of Man United and the fans bashing him, the experts bashing him. I think all of that is the problem with him, unfortunately.
No, I think
And yeah, I think the Manchester. Oh, sorry.
I think what would have happened, how to revitalize Harry Maguire's career back was putting Max Allegri as a coach. That would have been the perfect thing. I think I'm telling you, when it comes to as a defensive minded coach and like making better, like improving defensive capabilities, I feel like Max Allegri is the guy. I've seen De Ligt played his best season under Max Allegri's first year, and I don't even look highly on De Ligt. I feel like Maguire could actually do well under him.
Glad with your random questions. What do you
We'll
sell
see how
a year
the
for
league
life for
performs.
100 grand? That's not
Hey.
even that much money, man.
No, that's not.
Hey, it depends on your life situation now and what your current salary is. If you think within 1 year you'll start to earn 100K, then you don't need to bet a year. But if you will not reach those 100K, then hey, come on, let's shake hands on that deal.
I think
Depends
it
on the situation.
depends. Like, what if you're in jail? Then it's like, yeah, sure.
That's like 10 houses worth.
I don't know.
of-
Do you need the 100K in jail?
Other
That
people-
commissary, yeah, you can get a lot.
I feel like
Those honey buns.
100K though, like I don't know. You could sell like 10 homes with that. If you,
Oh,
if
and there's the realtor. The realtor's
I'm
coming
just
out.
thinking of it, like it has to be a lot more. Like I have to talk about like a $10 million. That would be my thing.
Oh,
Always the
10,
business
dude.
angle.
If you tell me 1 mil, I'm betting you 1 year. 10 is crazy.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just saying, like,
Even for one, I'll give you 2 years, man.
All right, let's bring it
Maybe
back.
for a UCL title. I
I
think.
could do that. Yeah. I would like to see that.
UCL.
Yeah, I'd like to see one of those before I die. That would be nice.
Glad with the
Definitely agree on that.
hypotheticals tonight. That's a little off base. Just a hypothetical question from Vlad. He's either like really going at something, or he's trolling like a mofo.
He's probably trolling.
There's no Mercado right now. I think that might be the problem.
But gentlemen, we have to do a bit of trolling tonight. Let's not delay this anymore.
We're not above it.
Oh, it was really your. Oh, I just said that. I didn't know that you want to roast him when you.
No, of
when you
course I
asked us.
do. Who doesn't right now?
Oh man.
Or just Roma. Like I got to feel a little bit for the guy. He's just trying to do a job, but just the shit show that is Roma, generally speaking. Up and fire away. This is another big loss, 3-2. Verona.
How they lost was just brutal. It's so bad. I mean, hey, Soule scored for all the people, who missed Soule.
Hey, congratulations.
Yeah, finally got a goal.
It's your first okay game.
I mean, Roma's a dumpster fire. Like they're
So you are the statsman on money. How much did we fleece Roma for Soule?
20. It was around 25.
I take that.
Yeah, I mean,
Oh,
over
wow, we could
installments,
have done more.
I think payable. No, I think I'm pretty sure it was 25, and I think it was payable over 4 years, maybe, give or take.
And with bonuses 30, I believe. But hey, I'm sad about those 5
what
million
bonuses?
because, dude, what bonuses is Roma supposed to reach? Yeah.
I don't think they're getting paid out any bonuses.
No.
You go 25 mil.
25 mil, right?
I take that. I take that, man.
25.6 in 4 years, and then 4 mil in bonuses. It's at a max 4 mil for bonuses.
Yeah, not horrible, but at the same time, he was one of those sacrifices. People sometimes forget that we didn't necessarily want to get rid of him. It's just we didn't have money to get people such as Coop.
They were hoping for 40 for him at one point.
Yeah. In a different market, maybe. But the numbers are starting to come down back to normal, and that's something we have to keep in mind as well. That 25 is probably a fair price for him. We're so used to all these inflated prices for players. But we see, other than those select few, Madrid, PSG, and even PSG is trying to be smarter with their money as well, right? Like you just see more fiscal responsibility happening now that, the post-COVID days, all that's kind of settled down a bit. And yeah, just sustainability. You can only be a PSG for so long until you got to sell everything, right?
The only
money comes out of trees. Sorry.
No, go ahead, Jeff.
No, go ahead.
The only person I feel bad for, the only person I genuinely like on that team, and I wish Juve would have got him last year, is Baldonzi. That's the only one
Yep,
I
like
kind of
it.
feel bad for, because that kid can ball.
And
That
honestly, I
was
would have left Dovbyk as a striker. I was sad that Roma got him, man.
Yeah, and he did score again today.
He's really good, man.
I'm saying was sorry to like intervene, but I'm saying like any club that's super sustainable, I believe, is Barcelona, because they believe money grows on trees. I'm just saying they must have the money tree. I don't know, like they have to have a seed where like a tree full of money just grows. Like they just
know what they do, Jeff? Do you know what they do?
Tell me.
They sell off pieces. So they sold off a portion of their like Barcelona TV.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Right.
Right.
Hold on. They have
sorry. I'm gonna interrupt for a second just for Elode, who I'm still gonna pronounce his name incorrectly.
Elude.
Elude. Say it again.
You're getting there. Don't worry.
Oh man, just
Thanks,
he was
guys.
roast. You're so polite
See
too
you.
about it. So thank you. Have a good night. Thank you for joining in. It was great seeing you.
Bye, guys.
Take care, buddy.
Okay. Continue. Sorry about that.
Yeah, no, I'm saying so they sold off a portion of their like they have like a channel, right? So they sold off a portion of that. They also have they have a new stadium deal coming up as well, and they're partitioning off that portion of the ticket sales or whatever to get the financing. Yep. They're just financing against themselves. That's how they keep doing it. I mean, it's
they're borrowing more money to pretty much pay off their old debt by creating new debt.
That is how they're doing it. And look the problem with them. They bought, for example, Daniel Olmo for what was it, 55 million from Leipzig, I believe. Yes, he is a very nice player. He was incredible at the Euros. But did you actually need to invest those 55 million for him? Because look at the team you already have, man. They have Rafinha sometimes playing midfield, but now like he is playing winger finally again. But you have Pedri, granted injury couple of times. Dude, they have such a good team. Gavi is back on the lineup. Oh my god! I mean, did you really need to buy him for 55? And even Frankie de Jong is playing great, and they wanted to sell him like the last 2 seasons, and he said, "No, I want to stay here, man."
Sounds like Barcelona is a compulsive Amazon shopper, like an impulsive Amazon shopper that just like go buy things. Oh, I like this. I don't need it, but I really like it. I gotta have it now. And then it's just like order, send, process. It's like, it's okay. We'll borrow some more money.
They were about to buy Nico Williams from Bilbao for also 50 to 60 million, and now they figured out, oh, Rafinha is playing great. Hey, guess we don't need him. But they found that out after the transfer window. But they were about to buy him as well. And then Bilbao said to Nico Williams, hey, we're giving you the number 10. Hey, come on, you're a guy. And his brother Iñaki Williams told him to stay. And that's how he stayed. But they were about to pay those up until 60 million as well. Like, it's crazy, man. But no, like everybody's saying, they have finally some great sellable assets. Sorry.
Oh, they could sell Yamal. They could make bank.
Dude, everybody. Kubarsi, Marc Bernal, like.
Oh yeah, I've been saying what saves Barcelona's ass time and time again is their academy. They have a brilliant academy. I'm not saying they're going to build Messi again, but like they build some studs. They do well on that aspect. Anything else, they're just brain dead. They're just completely zero brain celled financial advisors.
Hey Vlad, do you know the only reason? Hold up, let me get the message up. Because he said it's funny how they replaced that Marc Bernal guy with Marc Cassad after he got injured, and nobody even noticed. Honestly, I only noticed because on the last EAFC, I was going through a couple of the squads. Not even on this EAFC, but I saw both Marks in their squad, and that's how I differentiate them.
Wow.
And yeah, dude, La Masia has always been good, man. It's the best talent factory in world football, honestly.
You gotta thank Johan Cruyff for that. I think Johan Cruyff is literally the architect for Barcelona, a true architect. But you have to thank him. Like if it wasn't for that, if it wasn't for total football of the 1974 Ajax, so yeah. That's one thing, and then you got Real Madrid. They'll buy anybody because they
have unlimited money, man. They have
unlimited money. They got unlimited power. They had Franco, King Franco, literally endorsing them for some time, and then Perez is like the Don of the Godfather. He's the Godfather of football.
Yeah.
So
no, Jeff, I think you and I don't know about you, sir, but Jeff and I like talk about this like a lot because we dislike Real Madrid that much. And honestly, I don't have anything against Barcelona. I want them to do well because I need somebody to break that Real Madrid down, like. And I always want Barca to do well, but dude, I don't know how you fuck up your finances. Yeah, I do know why they're why the finances are like they are, but with that talent factory, did you really have to pay those 100+ million for Ousmane Dembele? Did you need to pay those 200 million to for Neymar? Like,
Neymar, I think with Neymar, I'm okay with the Neymar deal.
200 though, Jeff. 200 though.
Back then,
not 100.
Back then,
was it? No, I don't think it was 200. No, I think with the Neymar was a lot different. I think they sold Neymar for 200 in PSG. If I remember,
sure? Well,
2017, they sold them.
Was the 220 there?
The 220.
Oh no, you're right. They got him from Santos. Yeah, no, you're right. You're right. I apologize.
They got him from Santos. That was actually a good buy. But the thing is like,
right. But the Ousmane Dembele, it was Ousmane Dembele that
Ousmane Dembele was a flop.
Philippe Coutinho from Liverpool. Yeah.
What else? Who else?
You're right.
Like I didn't think Dembele was a Barcelona style player. Coutinho and Griezmann are very good players, but at the time when they were bought were good. But the problem is both of them have one thing in common: they play in the center, and Messi takes that spot, and you're not taking that spot. I don't give a damn. So like they were putting him on the wings, and that made to me absolutely no sense. It was like buying the same utility, the same knife, like expensive knives, but does the same thing, and you're not going to use them as frequently. And if you try to use them for something else, it's not going to be effective.
That is a Florida thing, collecting knives that you don't need.
I don't know. Could be. I don't freaking know.
Oh yeah, rednecks, Florida rednecks. They're totally into that kind of thing.
Yeah, I think so. We're unpredictable, man. Like I don't know what the hell is up with.
You never know when you need a knife in Florida.
We are literally okay. I'm gonna tell you this, Dave. Watch a video of a guy that got super, super drunk. And I think this was north of me. So it was like 30, 40 minutes north of me. So he was drunk. He was in a truck. He had an alligator. Apparently he caught an alligator or something.
I think I heard this. Yeah.
Yes. And like he grabbed the alligator and went to the liquor store to get more beer or liquor, whatever it was. But he was just drunk out of his mind. He just randomly comes in to a gas station liquor store and just grabs beer randomly. Like nothing happened.
Love it.
By the way, Jeff, I remembered something. Don't forget the 40 million for Vitor Roque right now, who they loaned to Betis, Sevilla, for example.
Oh, God.
And yeah, dude, there were a couple of those. Rafinha, they paid 58 million for. They paid 45 million for at that point. 31-year-old Lewandowski. That is why their finances are like they are. And we even can go. Back further, hold up. 55 million. Hey, 55 million for Ferran Torres.
I'm gonna say something that's not gonna be very nice to Barcelona.
Don't hold back.
If they have this kind of finance, how are they gonna sustain themselves as a country if they want to separate from Spain?
Sustainability. See, that's the problem. Oh, get me political. Typically, these movements.
120, by the way.
Okay, so these these movements, separatist movements, as a Canadian, I've dealt with one too. Quebec, the French-speaking part, they had a couple referendums. One of them actually almost passed back in like 95 or 97, whenever it was. It's usually based on a lot of dumb, closed-minded thinking. And I'm not trying to put like the Catalans down and what they want and how they like want to represent themselves and how they identify, all that nonsense. I don't really care at the end of the day. It's just these things you say, like, what if they can't run a football club? How are they going to run their own country? Probably not well. But like, the actual reality is probably not well.
I am a dick for saying this. I shouldn't say it, but maybe they are smarter. But like, I mean, okay, you want to do something, at least map it out. Give yourself a reason, a good reason. That's it. On top of that, actually, Sal, what do you have in mind? Because I don't know. When it comes to the finances, I'm going to let you cook on this one better.
Yeah, I mean, I think the issue with Barcelona is they can't take a few years off to rebuild. I don't think their fans. I don't think their fans will go for it. It's just bad from a marketing perspective, and they always have to compete on three fronts, right? So they always want to feel like they're in the running for the treble, and they just basically like think about like. That's the big difference between them and like a Juventus, right? So Agnelli tried that with Ronaldo and with De Ligt and those contracts, and it, we were only able to sustain it for 2 seasons, and then COVID completely, decimated us.
That was a complete, that was an unpredictable event. So.
Yeah, and that was the thing. But unlike, and like you touched on it earlier, we've talked about it a bunch on this channel. Like the big difference, bringing it back to Juve is, we don't have a Serie A subsidizing us or supporting us the way like a Real or a Barcelona, So you would think that there would be some FFP issues with some of the financial voodoo that they're doing, but they do tell them like the hardest slap that they get is, yeah, you sign the guy, but you can't register him. They'll let them pay off a little bit. They'll let them sell off a little bit of their, overall business to raise those funds, and then boom, they're in the club, and that's as tough as La Liga gets on them. So,
and on top of that, I wanted to point out one thing about Juve is like we don't listen to our fans. We do what the heck we believe is good, or at least what the board does.
Good. Like, our fans are fucking nuts.
Yes.
Yeah,
So,
don't listen to them. Honestly,
we
regarding business, don't listen to the
I'm just gonna say this. All I know, Chiesa would be playing.
And there it is.
Be injured. Remember this. I'm gonna point this out. Chiesa would be playing. Zaniolo's gonna get injured. We would have been on our 10th coach.
We would have got Berardi.
Oh, absolutely.
And Sergei Milinkovic-Savic would have played.
Yeah, we would have got him from Saudi.
Yep.
We would have had to pay more than we would have.
No, we would have bought him earlier from Lazio for 50.
Yeah.
We would be paying like $20 million a year in severance packages alone. Shit. If it was up to our fans right now. Max would be getting $7 million.
We would also be demoted in the 4th division by the 5th year.
But I have to say this though. I mean, we touched on La Liga, we touched on we touched on EPL, but honestly, I really think Serie A's, again, assuming Lazio wins tomorrow, the gap between 6th place and 1st is 4 points.
Yeah, it's pretty wild.
This is probably going to be one of like the, after last year with Inter and the year before with Napoli, like this is going to be this is going to be a dogfight all through. I think top 5 to 6 spots is going to be a dogfight.
I believe it too. You're absolutely right. I think like the whole condition is set up. Pioli's out, so they got a new coach. The Milan's an unknown.
Yeah,
Napoli was an unknown, clearly with Conte. And then we're an unknown with Thiago Motta, and Inter is having a championship hangover. So with them, their defense is played a complete 180. Like, they're good, but they're not as compact. So anything goes. I think with us, with Juve, when it comes for this title, it's going to depend on what we do in January regarding, one, a center back, a proper center back, and two, a proper Vice Vlahovic. Doesn't have to be the best, doesn't have to be perfect, but somebody that it can rotate with Dusan here and there.
If Jonathan David scores against us tomorrow, that's who we're getting. Whoever scores against us in the Champions League, that's the guy.
We can't get him though, can we?
Not yet.
Yeah.
We're already capped with non-EU players, I thought.
Are we? That's
I think so.
Interesting point. I'm actually not.
I think we are capped with that, and we also went to our budget limit. We have to sell first to
Yeah.
get somebody else. And at this point, who are we selling?
Yeah.
Like, we are to our bare bones anyways.
Right. I think I have one. Well, for starters, we already know that Arthur Melo's got to get the hell away from our club. But that's one thing.
Okay, but that doesn't earn you money. It saves you you salary. It doesn't earn you any money.
All right.
I take that.
Tinfoil hat.
All right, we're putting it on.
Let's fleece a club for Savona.
Yeah, you don't really? You're not a Savona believer?
No, I'm not saying I don't believe in him. I'm not saying I don't believe in him. I'm not saying I don't. He could be good, but that's the beauty. We're talking about could. So
that's an interesting one, though.
It's the same thing we did.
Oh, sorry.
Think about it. Yeah,
but here's the thing.
I'd say Cambiasso to Real before I'd say Savona.
Because Cambiasso to Real would actually get you a shit ton of money.
But the problem is Real has so many options right now because they want Trent Alexander-Arnold, who is currently not extending his contract with Liverpool, and he will be a free transfer for the right side. They're already in the lurks because Alphonso Davies' contract is up after this season. They're after him as the left back for next season. If one of those deals doesn't get through, then they will get to Cambiasso. But if they get both of those options, say goodbye to Cambiasso to Real Madrid and say bye to those 50 to 60 million. Or maybe
any English team, and I say at least 40. If it was like Man City something knocking, you can get a 50. If you needed cash, you can definitely sell Cambiasso. Would I? Right now, like, we're missing some depth.
No. Hell no.
We can't get rid of him.
He's a gem. I think right at the moment he's a gem.
No, he's a gem, and he's an engine.
He's too much of an engine. I mean, listen. I would not sell him for 50 or 60. Now, I know I might sound crazy, but it makes sense. Like, I would want 80 plus, like 80 million or plus. Take it or leave it. I don't need to sell him. I don't want to sell him.
No, you don't.
And he's not going to want to leave. Yep. I think he has the black and white in his DNA.
There's also that. Of course,
I don't think he wants to leave. With Savona, I don't know much about him. I'm not saying sell him. I'm just saying build up some hype. And if a good price, if a good offer comes, I might consider it.
If it's like 30 mil for Savona, somebody that just needs a right back and is willing to overpay, I think you kind of have to, but it still puts us in a... Well, we still have Ruhi as well, but clearly he's not the option right now. But you could. You technically could.
Like maximum 5 or 8 to mid-table or relegation fighting Italian team or something like that.
Yeah. You could, because you do need a striker.
With Bremer being out, obviously Kalulu has to play center back, but Kalulu is really a fullback. That's where we would like to play him.
Mm-hmm.
Can't do it right now.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Gatti technically could do it too if he needed to, right? Like our back line is very utilitarian, very flexible. A lot of them can move around in different positions, which is actually pretty nice. It does give you a lot of options. Hey, Gio's here. How's it going, bud?
I was
cast in the house.
I was thinking that, or honestly, like have like Rui like pop off, just have some really good games. Even with Bangula, like he can pop off a couple of good games here and there.
Just have a really good game,
and then just build up the hype, build it up. That's it. I
could see Bangula leaving next year in the 20 range.
He's our next Sterling Jr. That's all he is.
Yeah.
What I'm saying is that like
Or the next Sule, the next Sterling Jr. I think Mbangula is in that range of
he's not
players.
bad. He's not a bad player. Like that's the thing. I don't think he's a bad player.
No, he's
He's not, but will he get a starting spot?
I have no idea. If they sell him for 25 mils, they can do whatever the hell they want with him. That is not
he's
my
one of those
problem.
guys that I think's an option.
What I'm saying is that like when we have an advantage and we should continue to do so, is that next gen project is fire. Like we need
Absolutely.
Class right now.
It's ass now, yes. I think who was it Tognozzi?
Steady at D next year if they don't
I gotta
figure this out.
I got a question. So was Tognozzi the director when it came for the youth? So we lost him. So that's a huge blow.
Yeah, we did.
We're going to need a sporting director that's capable of scouting the proper youth. Because
didn't one of Giuntoli's buddies from Napoli, I thought, came in to take over that spot. Am I wrong on that one? It was the guy who looked like a gangster. What the hell was his name?
I'm gonna be honest. I think Giuntoli looks like a gangster. Period. Like it's like.
Oh yeah, him too. But I'm talking about the guy that he brought in. He had to wait a while for Napoli to get rid of him. But I thought he was basically going to be the new Tognozzi. But
I have no idea.
Yeah, but it's bad. I mean, if next gen goes to Serie D, man.
That's not a good. That's not a good look. Yeah, we'll see. It might have to take time. Like just continue to keep looking for younger talent, and also keeping it in mind. Like Ozic was supposed to play with the next gen too, so keeping that in mind. Like some of the players, like Savona and Ozic, who else, and then Bangula were supposed to be in the next gen. Correct me if I'm wrong, but it wasn't until like Malta wanted to keep them in the squad. But that's for what I'm thinking, and they could have been some ballers for that squad if they were to stay in the next gen. So that's also another thing.
Gio's got it. Yeah, no, that's the guy that replaced Giovanni Mana. That's Giuseppe Pompeo. Yeah. And Wando, which I know you commented earlier. I think this is the first time you commented.
Yeah.
So yeah, if you're new, welcome in. Always love seeing the new guys. Having new people in here. Welcome everyone. But he's asking, who are we trying to fund for? A potential Jonathan David or just a striker in general? And
it's down to your imagination. Whatever you think we need.
and whatever we
by
do
the way,
on the
to answer Kamaboko, and also to answer Kamaboko, of course we are on 30 million with those two. Right.
We're gonna bring back Lord Burnout. Well, Toronto.
And that's why I said earlier, don't listen to our fans. Just kidding.
No, let's entertain this because Toronto is on a fire sale right now. They're
money
on the Italians did not work. They failed to make the playoffs again 2 years in a row. They fired their coach. They fired everyone. They're firing the Italians now. So, I mean, Burnout's potentially back on the market, and so is Insigne for that matter.
Take him to Inter Miami.
Is Insigne? Is he still playing for Toronto?
When he's not injured, sure.
Toronto only got one Italian legend. In Toronto is Giovinco. That's it. Get over it. By the way, I saw him live in Clearwater, Florida.
Oh, nice.
It was, years ago, I saw Drogba. It was Montreal versus Toronto. And it was all the guys were there. Michael Bradley, which he's not that good, but it's okay. Giovinco was there. Like he was like short. I mean, short. I don't know, man. That was a short guy. And I saw Drogba, and he had his head shaven at that time, but I think it was his head shave. I don't know. It's been a minute, but yeah, like I seen him. And he was like I was like only like 3 feet away from him. Like I was super close.
There's a lot of comparisons with Conceição and Giovinco.
Giovinco, first of all, Giovinco played centrally. If I'm correct, he was more.
I personally don't like doing the whole player things. I think it's just because it's the small dude that dribbles.
He means the size. He just meant the size.
Yeah, I did not make that comparison.
Second, Conceição is taller. I thought he was short, but he's 5'7". So, or I gotta
like 5'5".
I think Giovinco's a lot shorter. Yeah, because I'm 5'7", 5'7", 5'8". Like I'm there. So
Let's see if
he's Messi height. That's what he is.
I think Conceição's 5'7". But yeah, no, I think Giovinco was more 5'5". How tall is Insigne? I thought he was kind of
Giovinco was 5'3".
Holy
He's real tiny. Oh man.
wow.
Yeah, I've
They
never
don't
seen him
call him the
live, so I
Atomic
didn't know.
Ant.
And 5'7" for Conceição. Oh, not even
Yeah.
close.
I like the comment LJJ said. It was like, I met John
Oh,
Terry.
Insigne is 5'4".
So yeah, Conceição came up as 5'7" and Giovinco 5'3".
Good God.
Damn, I didn't realize Insigne was 5'4". Jesus.
That's a
Oh,
little
Insigne,
bad.
you were saying. Sorry, yeah. Insigne is pretty small.
By the way,
5'4".
Kamaboko, Pedro Neto is actually really good. And Chelsea bought him for again 50 million or something stupid. But he's really good, man. If he wasn't injured like every couple of weeks, Neto's nice.
Everyone's injured every couple weeks. It's 2024 when everyone's playing 50 cup games.
Yep, at this point, yeah.
And I think it's not going to get any better because, you know, we idolize, we as people idolize one God, and it's not the biblical or the Quran or none of that stuff. We idolize profit.
Yeah.
We idolize profit. We bow down on the name of profit. Not profits as people speaking, but just increases. Profit-seeking motives. That's it. We bow down to it. And that's what we trust. Even in the back of the dollar bill, it says, "In God we trust." Profit. And that's all it is.
We're going to get into the Communist
By the way-
Manifesto now at this point.
Oh, hey, Karl Marx, my guy, knows that.
Oh, boy.
Oh, yeah.
And get Tony we trust. There you go. You got it, Shiro.
How about them Cowboys, by the way? I'm just hoping Philly survives Jacksonville. Dude, if we lose to Jacksonville, I will cry. But
the Eagles were playing. How they doing?
As a
we're
Tampa Bay
leading
Bucks fan,
Jacksonville by 5 points, and we have the ball with
so I call my season
so
to be over.
I hope we're surviving that. But, yeah.
I do believe that the Bucks season's over. It's done. No Chris
The
Godwin,
Dolphins
no
season's over.
Evans. Bum.
I'm done with NFL already.
Let's poor Saints lost to the Panthers, man.
All right, Iraq 2. We'll get into this. We're almost hitting our time limit here. But you're saying unpopular opinion. Coop is a bigger flop than Douglas Luiz, considering price, expectations, and experience in Serie A. I'll start and I'll leave it to you guys. My take is why are we already talking about flops? Let things play out at least till January until like the first transfer market. Go throw it in.
Some people are upset like I am that we're in 6th place. I get it.
It's emotions.
Go ahead, Dave.
And Chiro's poop is passing well.
Yeah. Honestly, I have nothing to add, man. Dude, chill. Season is couple of months old. They were injured for a lot, and Cope influences way more of the game than Douglas Luiz. But both of them were injured a lot, man. Give them time.
For starters, if we're worried about because he's not scoring enough goals, I don't care about that. That's for one thing. Second things first, I already said it earlier. I think with Coop, like I don't like glazing a player, but for what he has done, for what his job is supposed to be, did we spend 60 million? Yes, it's a little bit too much, but you're dealing with Atalanta and any other team in Italy. Forget it. We're going to get fleeced. It is what it is. You get the Juventus inflation when you're going out with other teams. But regardless, I do think when he's on the field, he's important, he's influential, he does the right things that needs to get done. He does the job. Again, would I wish him to do the extras to score and create more assists? Yes. But we got him for what I wanted him exactly. He's got a high IQ. He reads the game well. and he's able to do the right passes and be there when it's needed. He influences the game in a positive direction. Again, it sucks. I believe not only we get the inflation based on the other teams, but the game, the market itself in totality is inflated as a total. Like, players are just too expensive regardless. So forget it. Like, to expect it right off the bat, no. Yeah.
So my biggest thing here, because he's coming back saying, imagine we spent that 110 on players like Conceição and Kalulu, the value for money would have made us the best squad in Italy. The problem is like there's this whole thing called reality, and sometimes shit just don't work. And that's just life, right? So that's why I just caution to relax a little bit, because it is early. Circumstances aren't great.
Yep.
I know we're looking for a scapegoat at this point, but we just need more chill.
Yeah.
Honestly, let me ask you who the players you would have wanted and in which positions that would have been better for those 110 million. That give you better outlook long term. Like, would you have bought a winger for 50 million? And if you buy a winger for 50 million, like, what does that leave your midfield in?
And let's just say
let's
just say that 50 million player did just get injured.
Like, and I wanted to add another thing was that for the past 3.5 years, even during, we're talking Pirlo, Sarri was like the nail in the coffin. I felt like when Pjanic left, that was the nail in the coffin to our midfield. After that, it was just a disaster. I feel like for once, I actually have confidence in the midfield. We've had shit midfield for a while. We needed that attacking mid, creative style player, a ball playing midfield for the longest. And yes, again, this sucks to overpay him, but you need a guy like him because he's been nothing but a positive impact.
We got to be careful with that overpay
and
too.
the midfield.
I'm a bit.
And the
everyone's talking.
It's all good. Go for it, Sal.
Go ahead, Sal. Yeah.
What I would say is I am still a bit underwhelmed in our midfield. I still think like last year, we're still too dependent to play out on the wings. I think it's making us a little bit too predictable. I wouldn't let Coop off too easy for missing some easy goal opportunities, because, you know, if we're all concerned that Dusan's not going to bag 30 and it's going to be more like 20, we're going to need goals from the midfield. And seeing that Coop plays an advanced position in the midfield, we're going to need some of those goals to come from him.
I think it's coming.
The fact that we're still having a hard time playing vertically, which has caused a majority of our 6 draws that we have already. That needs to get addressed. I haven't seen yet that our midfield is capable of doing that for whatever reason, whether it's lack of continuity with a set midfield, injuries, what have you, still early. Like, hey, that's fine. You know, but as of right now, I'm not seeing it. It is a cause of concern for me at this point. So yeah, I can see, Narak, why you have I share some of those concerns with you as well. Now, too early to call anybody a flop, whether it's Coop or Luis or whatever. You need them healthy for a while to play, I think, before you can make that determination. But I'm probably not as confident maybe as some of the other people on the panel right now that we're going to see that soon enough for us to contend for the Scudetto this year. That's my main concern.
I agree with you as far as like contending for the Scudetto, but I do think I do agree also with the continuity aspect. That was one thing I do criticize Mota for, and he needs to start developing some continuity for his main midfielders. That's all I ask. That would be one thing. So,
all right, guys, I'm gonna have to be the party pooper and start shutting this one down. Here we are coming up to our 2-hour mark. So to not get too long in the tooth, I actually, I am a little bit surprised, because I felt personally that it was just like one of those weekends where the wind got taken out of the sails a little bit. But we did actually have quite a bit of we didn't even get into the F1 stuff whatsoever, which even more testament to how much there actually was going on in the footballing world as we go into our final week before our third international break. Otherwise, guys, thank you so much for calling in. It is the Sunday Night Call-In Show, and we couldn't do it without you, Jeff, Toto, and okay, I'm gonna mess it up one more time. Elode? Close, maybe?
I think the O sounds like a U. That's what that double dot over the O is.
Elude? Yeah.
I think it's for elude. Yeah.
Mm.
Although I probably didn't say it completely right either. So.
Very good.
Oh man. Well, guys, thank you so much. I'm gonna play the music. We're gonna bounce on out of here. Thanks for joining. Like, subscribe. They're all bouncing out of here as well. Thank you so much for
It
joining.
made again this something I didn't understand anything.
But what?
Your voice was again dimmed through the music. Forget about it.
Forget about it. All right, guys. We'll see you on Tuesday because there's another game. Take care. Good night. Oh, end screen. End screen. Rookie.
No, it's great.